right, what's up? What's up? So we are live with another live stream. And for today, we have Integrity 101, another fan that's part and down with the Snyderverse. What's going on? Introduce yourself, talk about you, and whatever you want.
Hey, what's up, man? Thanks for having me on. Yeah, I'm
No
Integrity
problem.
101. Some of the, I'm sure plenty of the Snyder people know me. And I was just looking to have a conversation with you about DC and Superman and Snyder stuff and the works.
Cool, cool, cool. So what do you think of how everything is going with DC and everything that they got going on right now?
Oh, man, it's a dumpster fire. I think everybody knows that. It looks terrible. Superman looks terrible. I'm assuming the Batman 2 is going to be canceled. I think that's pretty obvious. I'm not saying
Yeah.
that's what they should do, but I don't think the Batman 2 is happening. I think DC is a joke, and I think they're running that studio into the ground
Yeah. I think exactly that's what's happening. It's a
on
mess.
purpose. I think it's intentional.
You think so?
Absolutely.
I think it is too.
I don't think there's any chance in hell they honestly think this is the correct way to go with Superman or really Batman.
Right.
I
What
mean,
do
the
you think?
Batman. I'm sorry, the Batman's supposed to be a young Batman. Suddenly, we have a 5-year gap between, for the sequel. I mean, like, what are we doing?
Right.
So,
It's
go ahead.
crazy. No, no, no. Like, go ahead. Keep letting the viewers know what's up. I like
No,
I like how you have your thing that says destroyer of fake BS narratives. We need that. We need more of that.
well, yeah, I've been slaughtering these narratives for years. It's they put out a lot of nonsense. I'm always surprised people will swallow a lot of this nonsense whole.
Yeah.
It's surprising to me. Like I said to you just a minute ago, I don't know how I see the while it's closed. That's even funny. I was saying that a couple years ago. Did you start? Did you start while it's closed? Where did that come from?
No. No, I think it started with harsh critics, and from there I guess just the ball started rolling and things like that. So,
Yeah,
it's
because I was
just
saying that all the time a couple of years ago, and then I see it everywhere now. It's funny,
yeah.
but yeah, I think the studios, I think they're intentionally running that into the ground. You can see, like you see with the what was it? Whedon came over for the Justice League. Then you got Gunn coming over. I think it's like a Marvel takeover of some kind.
That yeah,
Something
exactly. That's what I think
something's
has been
going on
happening.
there.
Yeah,
Something's
that's what
going
I
on
think
there.
is for sure, for sure. It's not convenient for Marvel to have DC above them. And we could look back at Zack Snyder's Justice League. That's proof of it. If you compare them side by side, I mean, I know some people are going to be like, "Oh, it's conspiracy talk and this and that." No, it's not. It's the
It's
truth.
I,
It's
I
like
I call it using your brain.
right.
That's all it is.
Yeah, that's true because Marvel wouldn't be where they are right now if it wasn't for Zack. They stole his idea, they ran with it, and of course, that's what Disney does. If are you aware of the old original Lion King from but like back in the '60s or something like that before it actually became the Lion King? Are you familiar with that story with Disney?
No, not with Lion King. No.
Okay, if you go back, there's something with Lion King that somebody made it back in the '60s or something. It's in black and white. Check it out; it's out there for real. And literally, that's the original. And then Disney came along, copied it, changed things, they tweaked it, and now we have Lion King. And look at what it's become. And it's wow, it's the same thing with this whole thing with DC and Marvel. To me is like if it wasn't for Zack Snyder and the plans that he had original, we would have never gotten anything with the MCU. And after a while we saw that Marvel even said it, hey, yeah, we copied Batman versus Superman because we wanted to compete against them.
The
I
Civil War
mean,
thing.
they're
You're
admitting
talking,
it with
you're
Civil
talking about
War.
you're talking about Civil War, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, come on, like it's wild. It's completely wild.
I agree. I mean, to me, it's like I said, I think it's sabotage. I think we are way past incompetence. I mean, I don't
Yeah.
even think like so. To me, it's actually frustrating when people think, oh, they just don't know what they're doing. Bullshit. They know
Yeah.
exactly what they're doing. I,
Yeah.
I mean, I call bullshit on that. They know what they're doing. They know they have a young Batman, and every Batman gets a sequel every 3 years, and suddenly this one's 5 years. It's probably delayed or canceled. The whole James Gunn thing, he probably wants to force Matt Reeves to into his universe. I mean, I think we all
Yeah.
know it. I think they're intentionally just running that studio into the ground. Even if you
Yeah.
go back, even if you go look at the Snyderverse or the DCEU, whatever you want to call it, how do you have Batman and Superman in the second movie? We can take Justice League and throw that in the trash. I don't count that. And then
Yeah,
where's the next time Batman and Superman are in a film in theater?
exactly. Exactly. Besides the
Nobody.
cameos, because that's what
Yeah,
they brought in after that, it's ridiculous. It's
right.
like,
And I don't care about the cameos. To me, the cameos don't count. Look
yep,
at look at Marvel. Marvel didn't have Iron Man show up in Iron Man 2 and then just have him disappear for 10 movies. And
yeah,
people were like, oh, the DCEU failed. Oh, well, that's what happens when you take Batman and Superman and take them out of the whole universe. You make like
yeah,
12 movies in a row without either of those guys.
yeah,
It's idiotic. And to me, I don't know how more people don't see that this is clearly sabotage.
yeah,
Clearly, it's to me, it's beyond obvious.
yeah. That's for sure. Let's look at this comment real quick. There's a serious civil war right now in WB. It's only a matter of time until WB kicks out James Gunn. Yeah, that's what I think is happening. And that whole rumor that came out today and stuff like that. We were just talking about it. But that video clip that just surfaced and it found its way to the internet, and that there's a joke in Superman, and it's literally making fun of the Snyderverse community. That right there should be a wake up call to all the fans within the Snyder community to
Agreed. It
like
really should.
to
Agreed.
like they're literally mocking us. That's it. This is why I say what I say. They love to give us false hope, and I know some people are not going to agree with that. But when you have shill companies like Variety, Forbes, um, Heroic Hollywood, all these companies, they're all in
All these
bed.
companies, yeah, no
You know,
credibility, by the way. But go ahead.
none. And it's crazy how they like to come out and always bash anything that's with Zack Snyder. Before Rebel Moon came out, they were already saying that, oh, it's the worst and this and that. Funny that it's the worst because I just posted a video with the stocks of Netflix versus Disney and WB. The facts are there. If Let's be real, Netflix has a variety of independent films, original, everything that they have. Netflix is who they are. And with that, they also have Rebel Moon. So if Rebel Moon wasn't doing good, why are the stocks so high over at Netflix? Meanwhile, WB has HBO Max and it's tanking. Disney has Disney Plus and it's not doing high numbers. Who would have thought a streaming service such as Netflix would have topped it to where they are right now? And people don't like to hear that. They don't like to see and hear the facts. But that's what I'm here for, to show that. Because other people say, oh, I'm calling it how it is. No, you're not. That's the facts right there. And it's clear. But that's showbiz, if you want to say.
I agree with you. I think it's obvious. I think a lot of people don't like to deal with reality. That's just the
Yeah.
way I look at it. I think a lot of people can't handle reality, and unfortunately, in a lot of ways, we have a society of adult toddlers.
Yeah. And thanks to social media, TikTok. I mean, after the pandemic, everybody became a zombie. So it's like everybody was doing all type of dumb videos just for a click. And I'm like, damn, this is how low society has gone. So when you have that, everybody's attention span is only seconds. This is why you see them watching shorts and it gets thousands and hundreds and millions of views because people's attention span is just scroll, scroll, scroll. You watch a video, scroll, and it's like these videos are not even like 10 seconds long and people's attention span is just like, come on, really? And that's why they couldn't comprehend Zack Snyder's Justice League. It's like, what is it, like 4 hours long? It's not for everybody. And that's understandable. To me, 4 hours wasn't enough. I was like, damn, I wish this movie was long, like Lord of the Rings, like, because I want more of it because you're entertained. But a lot of people don't have that attention span. And then they're like, oh, well, it's not like Marvel. It's not bright. It's not happy. It's not, goofy and silly. You want jokes? Go watch a Marvel movie. We already saw that it didn't work with Shazam and everything after that. And it's like the studio doesn't understand. That's not what the audience wants. And they said that Batman versus Superman was bad, but look at the numbers. They don't lie. They made money when it came out. Suicide Squad, we know it's not David Ayer's cut, but it's still Suicide Squad with the same characters, the cast, all that good stuff. It's still connected to the Snyderverse, and it still made money at the bank. But then compare that to James Gunn's The Suicide Squad, you can see the difference. It's big, you know? What do you think of
Financially,
that?
it's a huge difference. Yeah, yeah. I mean, all those movies were successful. I mean, everybody knows that. It's a total lie 100% lie, bullshit narrative that Zack Snyder's films weren't successful. It's a joke of a narrative. I'm disappointed so many people still believe it. It's studio bullshit.
Yeah, big time. And it's wow, you know, it's just you could see that everybody's influenced by all this shill media, honestly, you know. And
Yep.
it's like I say, the more you pay them, the more they're gonna praise you, and we clearly see it. I mean, the Thunderbolts isn't out yet, and they already came out with it. It's at 95%. Really, come on, you're almost trying to say that that movie's perfect, and now everybody's talking about it and really putting what their thoughts are, and they're saying, and the numbers dropping, the score. So it's convenient. When it's convenient for Rotten Tomatoes, watch. They're gonna do the same thing for Superman. They're gonna be like, "Oh, it's the number one movie. That movie's gonna be like 98%, 99%." You're gonna see. They're gonna come out with all those fake lies, and then they're gonna be like, "It's the most watched movie since whatever movie." We
Yeah.
heard the same thing
Yeah.
through the
They do it
flush.
every time. It's the same
You
playbook
know, it's
every
like
single time.
it's wild. You know, it's completely like, how the hell? You know, it's like it's wow,
And
man.
people believe it. I'm surprised so many people still believe it.
Yep. Yep. That's the power of marketing. That's what they do, you know. They know how to get people, and people like to fall for it sometimes, unfortunately.
The power of programming.
Yeah, yeah. They know what they're doing, you
Yep.
know, and we're seeing it. We are seeing how everything, and this is something, I don't know how long you've been following me, but you know, for the ones that have been following me, I've been saying this for over a year and a half, you know. I've been called everything, and I'm like, I don't care. You know, it's like I know what I believe in. I believe in the Snyderverse. That's what DC needs to pick up and make money with their brand. They've had so many opportunities and they've lost them back to back. Superman, there's no repairing it now. It's too late. We're literally what, like 72 days away from it? It's done. It's DOA. It's completely done. And
Where
WB knows it.
yeah, where's the Superman trailer? It's what? Yeah, you said 70 days away. We haven't even had a real trailer. It's just a teaser, right?
And that's another thing too that confuses me. This is why the James Gunn cultists always live, breathe, and shit excuses. Because
Yep.
all they come up with is oh but this and but that. Oh, but that's not the real trailer. We're waiting. That's just a teaser. Hold on, motherfucker. We just saw this last year. Oh, but that's just a teaser of a teaser. Hold on. A teaser of a teaser. Make it make sense. Oh, but the teaser's coming out in December. Okay, but it's coming out in January. The same thing with James Gunn has been doing since the beginning. Oh, the real start of the DCU doesn't start until Blue Beetle. That movie tanked. Oh, it doesn't start until the Flash because you know,
Yeah.
it's this and that. You remember the talk and the speech that he
Yep.
gave,
Yep.
and oh no, it starts with Creature Commandos. Oh, but
Yeah.
oh, it
It
starts with
always starts with the
Peacemaker.
next one. It always
Yeah,
starts
so
with
I'm
the
like,
next one.
when does it really start then? You know, it's like, come on, he's a clown. That's why I'm like, I don't take James Gunn serious. Every time James Gunn says something, it's always the opposite. When he said recently, hey, crypto's not going to talk, he's just telling you crypto is going to talk. That's it. When James Gunn is like, no, we didn't cast this person as this person for this role, he casted that person for that role. When he's like, no, we're moving forward and we're gonna continue with Matt Reeves, and we're gonna start filming in December or November, whenever, probably in the year 2050. The point is, he's trying to tell you we're not going to move forward with the production because it's James Gunn. All he does is lie. That's who he is. He's a Pinocchio. This dude, all he does is lie. Everything he says is a lie within a lie. And I'm like, not once have you said something that actually matches. And then all you his followers, they eat it up. They eat it up like it's cake. And I'm like, okay, you know.
Yeah, there's a lot of people ready and willing to get on their knees and swallow whatever nonsense James Gunn wants to blast down their throat. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, completely. You know, it's like it's wild. Like, look at this comment that somebody's posting right now. They sabotaged the most meaningful, important scene of Batman versus Superman, mocking the Martha scene. I am sick and tired of hearing that Martha joke everywhere. It's
Yep.
like
Yep.
that's all they could come up with. That's all they could come up with.
It's like get
And then
over it
they,
already.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like, come on, it's played out. We get it. You don't like the Martha scene, okay? But how many memes, how many jokes constantly since the beginnings, before they even announced Superman, we came up with memes. And that's all what Superman is, a meme after another meme. And I love it. I love to see all the memes because they're beautiful. It's showing you how every fan is feeling about the Superman. It just tells you where they're at. And the studio's like, screw it. Yeah, this is done. This is not gonna make us money.
No, I don't think it's gonna. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't follow box office stuff too much anymore, so I don't. I don't really know. But I can't imagine that's gonna. I don't think it's gonna hit 600 million. I don't even know if it's gonna hit 500 million.
Nah, but I'm gonna be honest with you. If that thing becomes like Minecraft, capital WTF, I'll be like, I'm done. I am officially done because like I'm so completely mind twisted with the success of Minecraft, honestly. And I'm like, kudos to them. Props. Nice. I thought it was gonna flop, honestly. I don't know how it's making that success. They're about to hit a billion. If I wouldn't be surprised if it does hit a billion, but you have to see so many factors. There's no competition. That's the main thing. And this movie was in the making for like almost like Black Adam for 10 years. And everything got delayed and stuff like that. It got to a point where we're like, I don't even think that movie's gonna happen. And then all of a sudden it just came out of nowhere. I was like, what? Like, oh, it's really happening. And seeing the trailer is just beyond ridiculous. I'm like, this is how low the entertainment business has become. And look at how successful it is. And I'm like, what the hell?
Yep. Yeah. It's really sad. I mean, there's really nothing coming out. I guess the
Yeah,
accountant too. I know everybody's talking. I didn't see the accountant too yet. Hopefully
I
that's
have
good.
to go see it. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing mixed reactions just because from what I read and heard, they're saying that it has a lot of like humor in it. I'm like, no, don't tell me why. Why do you
Yeah.
need humor in it?
To me,
Like,
I'm done with humor. Save the humor for the comedies, like straight up
yeah,
comedy.
that's
Enough
it.
of like I'm so done with action movies and superhero movies, and there's this big battle, and they all got to make these stupid jokes in the middle of what's supposed to be a serious battle or
Yeah,
a serious fight scene. It's just like, come on, like I don't know. Maybe I'm just
yeah.
a little too old school, but I'm sick of it.
No, it's just what it is. We're used to good entertainment, and when we don't get good entertainment, I mean, anybody's gonna complain. Also, that it's like a perfect example. You go to the restaurant and you order what you order, but then the waiter or the waitress comes to you and they're like, "Look, let me give you what's on the house special." I'm gonna be like, "I don't care about that. I want what I want to eat." Like I want this and I want it like this, and then they bring it to you their way. You're gonna be like, the hell, I'm not gonna pay for this because you're the customer. You're entitled to ask for what you want because you're paying for it. And when they
Right?
give you what they feel that this is the best for you, I'm not gonna take it. That's the same thing with WB and all these studios that comes to the gaming industry, the movie industry, the anime industry, everything. When you give the audience what they don't want, you're just gonna have to close down the shop. And that's where we're heading. Look at how bad WB is. Look at their stocks for today. Today, $8 and what, like 67 cents. Disney, $90 and like 90 cents, 95 cents. But then you have Netflix, $1,131. That is nuts. That is nuts. And when you think about it, let's analyze this. Let's put ourselves in the position of David Zaslav or Bob Iger or whoever the hell, Kevin Feige. And Zack Snyder comes up to you and say, "Hey, look, I have this cool idea, Rebel Moon, and it's gonna be this and it's gonna be that, and we're gonna give them this and we're gonna give them that, but the fans are gonna want this and they're gonna enjoy that." And then all of a sudden, these CEOs are like, "No, that's not good enough. Time has passed." And then Netflix took the chance and told Zach, "How much you need? Here you go. Here's your check. Do what you got to do, but deliver." And what happened? Zack Snyder delivered. And when he delivered, he lit a fire under everybody's ass. Everybody, even us, the fans. Because I was like, what the hell? This is awesome. Like, this is insane. And when I saw the second one, I was like, oh shit, we are onto something. This is the next Star Wars. And that's just not because I'm saying it just because I'm trying to suck up or not. No, look, I'm not a Star Wars fan, but seeing Rebel Moon, I'm like, Disney, you screwed up. That could have been your IP and you could have been banking. That could have been your stocks. But no, you said no. And because of that, I'm glad your stocks are going down. And the same thing with WB. You get what you freaking deserve. And that right there is what they deserve. They turned down, both of those companies turned down Zack Snyder. And it took Netflix to say, you know what? Let's do it. Let's make it happen. And look at how successful that company is. Look at what we have: Rebel Moon Part One and Part Two, and we have the PG-13 cut, and then we have another Snyder cut. So it's like double the win. We got Zack Snyder's Justice League, the true Snyder cut, and now we have Netflix version of the Snyder cut because it's Zack Snyder who made his real cut R-rated, and boom, there we go with Rebel Moon. And it's crazy to see how some fans are like, "Oh, but nobody cares and this and that." You don't care because that the numbers don't lie. Those stocks tell you otherwise. It's winning, it's succeeding, it's in the green when everybody else is in the red. Hasbro's in the red, DC's in the red. I mean, yeah, DC, Star Wars is in the red, Disney's in the red. But what about Netflix? They're up there. That tells you a lot.
I agree. I mean, well said. I mean, I'm about to stand up and give you a standing ovation here.
You know, it's just nuts. It's like if you just sit back and analyze, let's just all sit back and look at the big picture. You have the James Gunn fans that are so focused on what James Gunn is doing. What does James Gunn bring to the table, and what has he always brought to the table? Silliness, corniness, raunchiness,
And poopy
perverted,
jokes.
and pooping jokes. He's obsessed with that. In every movie, it's always the same: copy and paste. The same thing. Watch
Yep.
Guardians of the Galaxy is the same thing. When you watch Peacemaker, it's the same thing. Now Superman, it's the same thing. It's going to be the same thing. And it's like, people, don't you just see what's happening here? Like, he doesn't care. He's even said it. He doesn't care about superheroes. He thinks that's the most stupidest thing that's out there. But yeah, he's in charge of this big company, right? DC Studios. How?
They put him in charge to run this into the ground.
Completely. Completely.
There's no doubt in my mind. I don't know how much more obvious it can be.
Yeah, it's nuts, you know? It's crazy, man. It really is. It gets to a point where it's like, I don't know what else is happening, you know? The studio is completely sinking. And I think that's what they want, not the studio themselves. The studio's like, hey, we have no other choice. Just bring in whoever you have. And of course, here comes Marvel to save the day with Disney. Oh, we're going to save it with Joss Whedon. No, you didn't. We're going to save it with James Gunn. No, you're not. It's not working. We haven't even started the official DCU yet, and it's already bad. That tells you everything.
I don't even think there's going to be a DC. I think there's going to be Superman. Then that's it. I mean,
Now,
I don't know, unless whatever other. I mean, obviously, if they already started filming the next movie, I haven't been paying attention because there's nothing worth paying attention to. But
yeah,
yeah, I don't think. However, whatever movies they have on the slate, they're not coming unless they're shooting it right now. I doubt it's Superman's going to flop. I mean, I don't know how.
complete.
I don't know a single person that wants to go see Superman. And
Yeah,
I've seen every Batman Superman film in theaters since Batman '89, except for
that's
Batman and
crazy.
Robin. I forgot that one, but I skipped that one because that was obvious. It sucked. And
Yeah,
this time here with this movie, this is the first film that's a Batman or Superman film that I'm going to skip in theaters. And like I said, and I don't know one person that wants to go see it. I don't even know one person that wanted to go see the Batman. And I used to go. I tell people all the time. I used to go drop, not me, but like my circle, my friends, family, all that. We'd probably drop $1,000 on a Batman movie, like Dark Knight or BVS or something.
right.
Meaning, me, my wife, friends, family. The tickets add up. You're spending $100 a ticket, or not a ticket, but for a group of people to get some tickets. Then we're going the
Right.
next weekend and the next weekend. Nobody in my circle, not one person wants to go see Superman, and half of them just don't. Half of them just laughed at the trailer.
Yeah.
I mean, like
It's
really,
crazy.
like so that doesn't. I mean, I'm just one guy, but I'm a guy that would, like I said, I would spend a fortune going to see I never see movies twice in theaters, but if it's Batman or Superman, I'm going every weekend.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
That's
now I don't know a single person that cares about anything they're doing since Zach got kicked to the side.
it's wild. But look, when you look at it, it's not that Zach got kicked to the side because now here
Well,
goes
you know what I mean.
WB. Yeah, I know. But when we look at it from a business point, it's like, oh, you come crawling back to me now, huh? Imagine Zach sitting there in his throne, chilling, and the back it says Netflix, and here you see WB crawling to them. Hey, Zach, we need you for the 300 prequel. And Zach turns around like Thanos in the big chair. And he's like, oh, you come to me, you come crawling back to me, you know? And it's like, you need me in the end because nothing at your company is working, you know? And they screwed him over time after time until that tragedy. And it's like, come on, WB, you literally had gold, diamonds, all the most expensive gems in the palm of your hands. And you literally just threw it into the wind. It's like that. That's it. And look who's reaping and making money. Netflix. And it's like they literally let that go. But the thing
Yeah.
is with the studio is that they're so stubborn. They don't want to apologize. They can't apologize to Ray Fisher. What's so hard? Call him up and be like, "Yo, hey Ray, we're sorry. On behalf of WB, we fucked up. That's it. Do you accept the apology? Yes or no? Yes, cool. You know, accountability over entertainment, cool. We apologize. Let's squash that. Let's make money and let's make the next movie. That's it. What's so hard to do that? But
Hey,
WB, you know,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, go ahead, go ahead.
I was just going to say, unfortunately, accountability and honor and integrity, they're all things of the past.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
but
it's just the truth. They're not, I mean,
at WB, yeah, Netflix, I don't see that. You know why? Because Netflix, they respect Zack Snyder. They're like, all right, you're gonna go do that LAPD show or movie. I don't even know what that's about, honestly. And you're gonna do the UFC movie. Go for it. Take your time. Do what you got to do. And we know that Zack has already confirmed it that he's gonna be back soon for Rebel Moon 3. I have to do a video. I have the video. I just haven't had the time to put it all together. But I have all the facts and evidence to show everybody, yo, that's the next project that Zack is going to be working on. And Netflix is chilling. Netflix is not like WB breathing all over Zack's neck and like, hey, where's that Rebel Moon 3? Because we need to make subscribers and we need to get money and blah 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 blah. Unlike WB where they were trying to rush Zack. Zack did Man of Steel, thanks to Christopher Nolan. And then all of a sudden, WB was like, well, Marvel's doing Iron Man and they're moving into Iron Man 2, and they already brought in Nick Fury and they're setting up something with the Avengers. We want to copy and paste and be like them. Zach was like, whoa, hold on. Let things take its course. They went directly into Batman versus Superman when Zach wanted to do next, after Man of Steel, a Batman movie to introduce Ben Affleck as Batman. And what did the studio do? Oh, let's rush it. Let's rush it. Call it Dawn of Justice because we're going to go into Justice League next. What the hell? Zach has his hands tied behind his back. So he's going to be like, look, you guys are the studio. I'll do what I can and let it be. And what? No, we want to rush it. We want to do it because Marvel's doing this, because Marvel's doing that. It's over 10 years and they're still trying to be like Marvel and they still can't get up. That's why I'm like, they need to stop. Let Zach do his thing, like Netflix is allowing Zack to do what he wants with Rebel Moon. And they're winning. They're all winning. Meanwhile, WB is still trying to play, oh, we think this is phase one. This might be phase one. You know, it's like like damn, 10 years later, you're still thinking if you're in phase one.
please come buy a ticket.
You know, it's like, come on. Oh, and talking about tickets, did you hear about the rumor? I heard a rumor. I forgot to screenshot it the other day. I came across it, probably Twitter. Maybe somebody on the comments could say it. Apparently, WB is about to do something that a lot of people used to do back in the 90s. That they will give free tickets. They will buy their own tickets and give it to the audience for free, just so they can say at the end, like a tax write-off, hey, we sold all these tickets to create fake numbers. I saw that, I think, on Twitter. I want to say I saw it on Twitter not long ago, within the past week or so. And I completely forgot about it. And I'm like, you know what? Knowing WB, I wouldn't be surprised. They do that in the music industry. They'll sell, quote unquote, sell all these tickets, give them away to people for free so they could say and justify, hey, look, we sold this amount of tickets so it could look good in front of everybody. But in the end, they're just really selling and buying their own product back. So it's like, damn, that's how low that they're getting. Tells you
Yeah, I
everything.
mean, it looks terrible. They don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
I mean, or like I said, they do know what they're doing. They're running it into the ground. That doesn't mean everybody involved knows that, but yeah, I think it's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
The whole situation's a joke.
Yeah, completely. You know.
So
Yeah, somebody saying, look in the comments right here, we have Zach takes the blame for all of WB's mistakes. Yes, true. because Zach is a nice guy, just like David Ayer, both of them. Like I get it, the professionals they don't want to burn bridges and stuff like that, and that's understandable. But I'm gonna be real with you. Sometimes you gotta be a hard ass and you gotta put your foot down because there's so much that somebody can literally step on you. I'm not gonna let somebody come and stampede on me, honestly. Like I'm not the one. Some people can. I'm not. I would have been stood up to W and be like, look, motherfuckers, I'm making this for you. I made you this much, and play with me. F around and find out. That's it. And look, that's exactly what's happened. And look at that. That's why the numbers don't lie. Look at how Netflix is so successful. Their stocks are insane. Who would have thought $1,000 a share in this time and age?
Yeah.
That's nuts, especially with the way that the economy is right now.
Yep.
Come on, that tells you everything. That tells
Yeah.
you everything.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you,
So with
man.
that, yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say. With that being said, all right. I know we spoke about this before we came on, but let's give the fans and let's hear the fans on this point of view. I stand strong with restore the Snyderverse. What about you?
No, I'm a sell guy. Like I've said it before. I think restore is the wrong move strategically. So let me ask you, I mean, why do you think restore is the way to go and sell is not the way to go? Because I mean, I think we should unite under one,
Yeah.
you know, but I think it's clearly sell.
Right. When you look at it, I'm gonna try to explain it to everybody as easy and simple as I can because it brings too much joy. I'll tell you why. When you look at it, they both are connected. All right. Like, have you ever played the game, like a video game, and you see that infinite, that logo that looks like a number 8 sideways?
Yep.
It's that. Why do I say that? I'll tell you right now. Because the main thing is when you're talking about restore the Snyderverse, whether it gets sold off to Netflix, whether it gets sold off to Universal, Sony, hell, it could be sold off to my grandma. I don't care. The point is that wherever it goes, it has to get restored. So by you still selling it and somebody else acquiring it, it doesn't matter which brand, which other company, they're still going to have to restore it. What does restore mean? To continue, to pick up where it left off. When you're saying sell it, you're saying screw it, just sell it, just whoever, let somebody else take over it. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't oppose it. But it would make more sense when you restore it within the same company. Why? When we were fighting for the Snyder Cut, how many people didn't come at us and said, give up, let it go, it's not going to happen, that's a unicorn, it doesn't even exist. We had so many channels out there. One of them was John Campia. There was the biggest shill,
Clown.
the biggest clown in the circus. Along with him, there were so many other people also. And just with that, you had so many YouTubers. We all came together and we were talking and fighting for it. And we were all with the one hashtag. This is when hashtags really started picking up and stuff. And the movement and the ball started rolling. Oh, what's this? What? Release the Snyder Cut. What's this? Everybody was using it. Oh, release the Snyder Cut. Hell, you had celebrities. You have Cedric the Entertainer. You don't believe me? Go on Twitter. His videos out there. He was even saying it. Restore. I mean, release the Snyder Cut. And yo, it's crazy to see this when you have celebrities. And it's like even recently, John Cena, he even said it. Hey, if the air cut exists, I mean, release the air cut. That's John Cena telling you, hey, if that's the director's vision, go ahead and release it. Like what's so hard? And when you have a studio that was so stubborn and so hard headed, and time after time, it took us years. We fought everything. We gave everything. Hell, there was points where I, as a fan, was like, I'm about to give up. I'm about to throw in the towel because it's like, yo, like nothing is happening. And the same thing is going on right now. This is why I put these videos. This is why I constantly do these videos. And I see that people are watching. Why? Because the thing is, when we come together and we unite, and you have a studio that said, no, we're not going to do it, and they finally do it and make it happen, who just won there? The studio? No. They're giving us what we want. We won. The fans, the audience. Did the pandemic help? Yes, it helped because they needed content on their streaming service because everybody was at home during the lockdowns and whatnot. So they were like, you know what? Screw it. Let's put it. It was so good that the servers crashed on HBO Max. What does that tell you? That it was a huge high demand because now you have the fans, the real fans, and now you have the fake fans that are like, oh, you know what? It doesn't exist. It's never going to happen. Oh, give up, blah, blah, blah. But in secret, they're like, I want to see what the Snyder Cut is all about. I want to see what this famous Snyder Cut. Oh, I can't believe it actually exists. I can't believe that I can't believe it. I can't believe that they got the Snyder Cut actually released. Thank you. We got that. We did that. Each and every person that's listening to this right now, around the world, today, tomorrow, in the future, we are part of history because it doesn't matter. 100 years from now, we will still go down in history as a community. The Snyderverse era. Oh, what was all that about? You imagine somebody discovering that? Like, I'm just exaggerating, but like, like people in the future, they discover artifacts and they're like, oh, what is this? Oh, this is the Snyder Cut. Oh, what's up with that? And then they start going and looking back and they're like, yeah, fans came together and made this happen. Oh, what? What's the history on it? Yeah, the studio didn't want to release that version and this is what happened. And in the end, they got it. If we were able to do that, what makes you think that we cannot get the studio once again, even though they've gone through these mergers, all these selling and everything within their own company? And then when Ann Sarnoff, the head of whatever she was during the time, oh, we want to thank Zack Snyder for his trilogy because, we're moving away from it and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
Oh,
bullshit.
okay. Bullshit.
Really.
Okay. And look at where they're at right now. For getting away and walking away and turning your back on each and every one of us, your consumer, your loyal fan, and your true customer, our wallets are closed. From that moment is the birth of wallets closed because they turned their backs on us. This is what I've been saying for a while in my videos. I never said, oh, no Snyderverse, no money. I've always been saying, if you don't give us the Snyderverse, we're not going to give you our money. And then from there, I guess it just became like a hybrid and it just got short and it became a hashtag. No Snyderverse, no money. The whole point is that sell, lease, everything that has to do is still attached to the Snyderverse. That big umbrella is still within the Snyderverse. So when you have this hashtag, that hashtag, this other hashtag, okay, that's cool. I'm not against it. The only thing that I'm against is the following. You imagine, just put this in perspective. When we were all using release the Snyder Cut, it was one hashtag. That's it. And look at how it trended. It trended. I think it reached over like a billion tweets or something like that. And if you look at now, if we were all to use one hashtag, and we've been seeing this, it's like a competition. Even Cell has evolved into Cell into this. It's literally a hybrid of its own hashtag. But Restore the Snyderverse remains Restore the Snyderverse. The Cell, it's still part of, and it originated and it branched off of Restore the Snyderverse. So when you're selling, sell it. I'm not against it, but selling it to a studio wouldn't make sense. And why? I'll tell you why. It wouldn't make sense because if HBO Max is owned by Warner Brothers, a streaming service that's a copy and paste from Netflix, why would this studio want to sell it to the competitor? That's like Burger King coming up with this big burger and saying, "Hey, look, McDonald's, we got this new big burger, but you can't have it. You don't. It's like SpongeBob. You can't know the secret sauce. It's like, yo, we want to be the same way, but you can't because that's their thing. That's the same thing when it comes to restore and sell. Hey, look, if we sell it, how do we know that Netflix is going to be 100% and give us what we want? They could be saying that right now, but they can also change. It can happen. It can happen. So if we've already been going at it with this studio for years and we won against them, because we did, we the fans did that. What's stopping us from once again coming all together, using that same one hashtag and making it into triple or quadruple the attention that it's getting? Because when Restore the Snyderverse trends, you have Cell, but you still see Restore the Snyderverse that's trending more than Cell. And then Cell is branching out to two versions of itself. That's just confusing the audience. To me, I'm like, all right, which one is it? Is it this one or is it the other one? Hell, I'm so confused. I don't know which one to use. And then people misspell it. So it's even worse because now people can't find it. It doesn't pop up. And the power of the hashtag is those are keywords that you use it. Everything that's related to that's gonna pop up. When you type in just RES on Twitter, it already, I don't know about yours, but on mine, it automatically knows you're trying to type in restore the Snyderverse. And I'm like, shit, that's how good the algorithm is because they know what's moving. You see what I'm saying? And then when you have cells, like, all right, which one is it? Is it Cell Zack Snyder's Justice League, Cell ZSJL to Netflix, or is it Cell this? You see what I'm saying? So confusing. Restore the Snyderverse is restore the Snyderverse. There's nothing complicated. It's easier. We use that. We unify that. Cell is still attached to it. Everything else is still attached to it. Make the Batflick movie is still attached to it. Because once the Snyderverse does get restored, guess what's going to come from it? Man of Steel 2, Ben Affleck's Batman, Zack Snyder's Justice League 2, 3, Suicide Squad, David Ayers, all of that falls under that umbrella. So it's gonna be like, yo, this is making even more noise. And people are gonna be everywhere again, seeing what's the cause. Because when you look at it, there was I think it was like an interview. I know I saw something somebody was saying, and they were like, hey, Restore the Snyderverse has evolved. I mean, what is it? Release the Snyder Cut has evolved into Restore the Snyderverse. Yeah, because we already have what is it? The Snyder Cut. So it wouldn't make sense to still use that hashtag. Now we're trying to send the message to everybody. Hey, we just want Zack Snyder's vision to be restored. That's it. End it, and we're done. That's it. Like there's nothing complicated to that. But when it comes to this hashtag war, if you want to say, it's like, oh, my hashtag got this much, like interaction, or mine's became into this one. How about we all just unify them, put them all together, still attached to Restore the Snyderverse, and watch us make even more of an impact against the studio, the executives, the shareholders, the stock investors, and most of all of those fake fans that said, no, it's not going to happen. Give up, move on. They're saying the same excuses that we heard when we were fighting for the Snyder Cut. What do you think of that?
You didn't say anything I wasn't really expecting. Yeah, I mean, I know all this. This is not my first rodeo. I've been following this situation the entire time. Integrity 101 exists because I came home from Justice League and was like, what the hell? I got to start talking on YouTube or something. So,
Nice.
Yeah, I think I still kind of think you're kind of missing the point with Cell. So here, I'll just go through it.
Go
And
for it.
I'm just speaking for myself. I don't represent the Cell guys. They're all cool, and I think that's the right way to go. But they can speak for themselves. I'm just talking about how I look at it. And the way I look at it is when you have Black Adam and the Flash coming out, and the Restore crowd is saying boycott, and then don't boycott, boycott, don't boycott. There's mixed messaging there.
Yeah.
That's not good. On top of that, everyone associates Restore, and well, I shouldn't say Restore, but all of the Snyderverse with toxicity. Whether that's right or wrong, I tend to think it's wrong. I think clearly the Move On crowd are the clearly toxic people. Because I mean, what kind of jackass spends years telling people to move on from requesting a movie? It's
Right.
not that hard. People want a movie. It's not a big deal. But some of the stuff I think you're missing is, yeah, it would be restored either way. Restored, sold. That's fine. I mean, if it goes to Netflix, if it goes somewhere else, technically it'll be restored. So in that sense, it's fine. But you brought up Warner Brothers spitting in our faces, and I agree. So to me, when they spit in the Snyder's fans' faces, they do not care about us as customers. They don't.
Right.
One way or another, they don't care. So I think it's a mistake to continuously engage with that studio. So you said you use the McDonald's Burger King analogy. I'll do the same thing. If you go to McDonald's and they tell you, hey, we're not selling French fries anymore, and you go, well, I really love your French fries. They say, well, guess what? I don't care what you say, what you do. We're not selling these French fries anymore. To me, it makes more sense to go across the street to Burger King and ask them to start selling Zack Snyder's French fries, so to speak.
Right.
I mean, that's where Zack is. So it's not so much that it has to go to Netflix. It's more that the Cell movement is more strategic, in my opinion. In my opinion, I do not mean this to be disrespectful to you or anything. I think it has, I'll say leadership. Uh, Clearly, you're doing a great job. So again, I don't mean, but at the time, I didn't think there was anyone really doing a good job with Restore personally. And I say that because when everyone's talking about the Flash and everyone's talking about Black Adam, you got people saying, "Go out and support Black Adam, support Black Adam, support Black Adam." Henry Cavill's in it. Then you got the same Restore people saying, "Oh, we'll boycott, boycott, boycott." So that's a mixed message, and that mixed message is bad for the movement. In my opinion, that's clear. So to me, after Cavill was coming back and then he wasn't, you remember all that?
Yeah.
Henry Cavill says he's coming back, and then he's not. I personally think that was all nonsense. Maybe they played Henry Cavill, I don't know, but I think that was really to get the Snyder fans to shut up and break our
Of course.
That's really what I think that was for, and I think it backfired. And now you have the birth of Cell, and to me, Restore had kind of lost its way because I've been following the whole time. I was not on social media at the time. I wasn't on Twitter and stuff at the time, so I'm not trying to talk out of turn. But whenever I'm on YouTube watching somebody back then, I get on and every YouTuber I talk about, it's like, oh, I can't believe they're boycotting Black Adam. Then the next day they're trying to say Restore, and so to me, we really needed to rebrand and relaunch the movement. Hence, Cell. So I think people get too confused with, if we sell it, we're still restoring it. It doesn't really matter. But continuously engaging with a studio that doesn't give a shit about us, I think is the wrong move strategically. I think it'd be better if we peacefully exit that establishment and go across the street and say, hey, are you guys willing to give us what we want? We know Zack Snyder's here. So to me, if we keep telling them, especially when, to me, it doesn't make any sense to say restore the Snyderverse and hashtag boycott Warner Brothers at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't make sense to me. Just logically, it does not make sense to me. It's, so if I can get through, just to get through this, that's the big thing. I really think, and I've been following the whole time, I'm an OG with this. I really think we needed to rebrand. I thought there was a serious lack of leadership in the Restore crowd, and it's specifically because they're saying boycott Black Adam, then they're saying go see Black Adam. They're saying boycott the Flash, and then let's go see the Flash. And that mixed messaging was bad. I think we were probably infiltrated with bots or shills.
Yep.
But one way or another, I think that was infiltrated, which is why we needed to reboot and have a clean slate. Now, when you look at Cell, they have, and I think you were maybe a little confused. I'd encourage you to maybe look into it a little more. But with Cell, they have the ROEs. They're being strategic. Some people get really butthurt about that. But to me, do you ever see when you have to confirm you're not a bot online or something? You have to click something. It's kind of
yeah.
That's essentially what the ROEs are to Cell. To me, you have to confirm you're an honest fan. You're not just a little shill, and actually follow a couple simple instructions. Use only the 2 hashtags. I am told, I hear that's the best way to get it out there on the internet. To only use 2. That's true. That is what we should be doing. So there's just some rules in place to succeed. People get caught up on what if it goes to Netflix or somewhere else? None of that matters. It's not like it has to go to Netflix. It's not like that way that you win the hashtag war. The point is, stop engaging with a studio that spit in your face that is probably profiting from your engagement. So, and especially if we're talking about boycott. Well, you can essentially boycott without boycotting by not engaging with them anymore. And now, if you stop engaging with Warner Brothers, you are not being toxic. So they can't use that narrative against us. And we are fighting narratives. That's what's going on here. That's what this whole freaking movement is about, whether anybody realizes it or not. It is about fighting fake bullshit narratives. One of them being that nobody wants to see Zack Snyder's Justice League 2. That's bullshit. So when we're fighting these narratives, I feel like I'm losing my train of thought. We needed to, so we needed to we needed to rebrand we needed to. I'm kind of losing my thought. We needed to rebrand. Where was I going? Um, God, my apologies. So
It's okay.
that's kind of where I'm at. It doesn't make. Right, the boycott thing. I apologize. It doesn't make sense to boycott Warner Brothers while asking a studio that already spit in our face to restore it. I'm not saying if Warner Brothers came out and restored the Snyderverse, that would be great. Nobody's going to be like, oh, but it has to be at Netflix. So when I hear people saying that, to me, they're arguing in bad faith. Everybody would be fine if it was restored at Warner Brothers. The point is not engaging with them. The point is saying, you know what? You don't want us. You don't want our money. Fine, no problem. We'll go over here. We're going to go where Zack Snyder is, where Zack Snyder is having success, and you pointed all that out, Netflix, and we're going to ask them. And if everybody does that, it should be almost embarrassing for Warner Brothers. So you'd almost force conversations. You're sitting there going, you're almost forcing Netflix to call them up like, hey, everybody's pounding on our door outside. Do you guys want to sell this thing or not? So that's really my thing. Sell is much more strategic. I don't even think it's really debatable. I don't mean to be disrespectful. Like I said, I followed all along. I can, so I think we needed to rebrand and relaunch. And I think Restore was without leadership, is my personal opinion.
I see that point of view. I respect that. I respect every point of view.
I was there the whole time. I was watching it the whole time. I'm not a part of. I mean, those guys did that on their own, but I really think we needed to rebrand. I think we were infiltrated. I think part of the infiltration led to the confusion, which was not good about should we boycott Black Adam? Should we boycott Flash? No, you shouldn't have. But plenty of people did. That was foolish. Hence, we needed to rebrand. And when you rebrand and relaunch the movement under #sell, like I mentioned, the little the bot thing, when you're asking people to follow a few simple ROEs, you're weeding out the fake fans. So for all these reasons, I think it's the much more strategic direction. And I don't know. I tend to think some of the Restore people are a little more emotional about using their hashtag, and it's more an emotional thing. Well, we got to win it with this hashtag. And I think it's the wrong strategic move. I think it's that's really it. I mean, we shouldn't be engaging with a studio that spat in our face. Here, I'll ask you a question. Superman flops, right? It's a total bomb. What do you think happens? Are they calling Zack?
I mean, Zack's already there. It would be
done.
I mean, no, yeah, I know, but I'm saying, like, as the studio,
I don't know that that's enough. So that's kind of goes to another point. I don't know that Superman failing is going to be enough to restore or sell or whatever. So the fans need to be united, and the fans need to be loud, really loud about it. Because honestly, anybody thinking that if Superman fails, they'll have to call Zack, that's under the assumption that this is a competent studio or people are trying to succeed. We're way past that. This is an agenda. So since it's an agenda and we're fighting a fake narrative, we have to be loud and we have to be strategic. And in my opinion, Restore is without good strategy and without good leadership, not including you, because you've been doing a fantastic job.
Appreciate that.
So that's my sell thing. I kind of stumbled there a little bit in the middle. I think I got most of my points. It's the ROEs. It's the strategic approach. It is the need to rebrand and relaunch the movement. And that's the thing I think the Restore people are missing. Sell, just like how Restore was an evolution of Release the Snyder Cut, Sell is an evolution of Restore. Essentially, I think Restore got, compromised. And that doesn't mean there's not a lot of great people doing it, but I just think they are missing the point. The point is, do not engage with that studio anymore. There's your real boycott. And you can do it peacefully without even telling people to boycott. So these are all, this is a way to minimize all the nonsense they can throw at us. Oh, you're toxic. No, we're not. We're not toxic. We're not even engaging with the studio anymore. So you say, well, how are we making a difference? Well, if everybody and every Snyder fan in the world is tagging Netflix all the time, eventually Netflix might pick up the phone. Now, maybe they did already, maybe they didn't. But the point isn't Netflix. The point is, it's Netflix because we are targeting where Zack is. That's right. It. If it was Universal, we will be targeting where Zack was, and it will be sell to Universal. Now, other people can make up sell it to here, sell it to there. That doesn't really matter. It's sell ZSJL to Netflix to give us ZSJL 2 and everything else, the Batfleck, like you mentioned this, Batfleck, Man of Steel 2, all that stuff is under the other hashtag that the whole umbrella is sell Snyderverse to Netflix. So it's really not confusing if you're paying attention. Not again, I don't mean that to be disrespectful, but it's really not confusing. It's much more organized. In my opinion, there's much better leadership because there is leadership and there is a strategic take. So I really hope, I'm not trying to convince people. Like, I really don't want to get into, I don't want to be responsible for reigniting some hashtag war here, but I do want to share. That's why I am pro hashtag sell. That's why I'm not with Restore. I think they dropped the ball. I think Restore dropped the ball. It was allowed to be, I basically just think they dropped the ball. We needed to rebrand and relaunch. And they did. And there's been they've had a lot of success. Sell guys have had a lot of success. And they're doing really well.
But with that being said, like, I hear you and everything.
So go ahead.
But I disagree.
Well, tell me
why.
Go ahead.
Reason why I disagree is because after the studio told us that we would never get Zack Snyder's true vision of Justice League, what did we do? We proved them wrong. If it would have gone somewhere else, who knows where and what situation we would have been in now. So we won against the studio after the studio kept on telling us no. The same thing, us telling the studio, hey, sell, sell, sell. That's like you going right now to Nike or going to any corporation and say, hey, look, I'm very rich, I'm very successful, I have all the money in the world. How much do you want for your company? And they're going to look at you and say, is there a for sale sign on my company? They have every right to decline your offer and say, we're not interested.
Yeah, but what if more and more people keep coming and more offers?
All the people, everybody can come at that company and say, sell it. But if that company doesn't want to sell, who are we to demand from them to sell something? You can't. Let me ask you a question. Where you live at right now, wherever you live at right now, your home. If some stranger comes up to you and says, hey, I want to buy your home, but you don't have a for sale sign, you have, memories, history, everything in that place, but they want that home from yours at whatever cost. Typical greedy corporations. Are you going to sell it to them? Or are you going to be like, look, it's not for sale? You have every right to sell it, but you also have every right not to sell it. Who is that person? You see, the point is that we can ask Netflix all we want every day, all day, and say, hey, sell it to WB. Hey, Netflix, they're ready. They want to buy it. Even Zack said it. If Netflix had the rights, hell yeah, he would do it. But this is where we play hardball against the studio. All right, you guys don't want to sell it? All right, that's fine. Our wallets are going to be closed until you give us what we want. Either you sell it or you restore it. The point is to put pressure upon the studio. Let the studio decide what they want to do.
Right.
They're being forced.
That's what I think you're missing, though. You're not putting. I don't think we're putting enough pressure on the studio because we're all engaging with them. And
we're putting a lot of pressure.
But it's the 21st century. Engagement is where it's at. So we're still engaging. They like engagement.
But look at the numbers. The numbers don't lie. We're winning against the studio. Minecraft is about to reach $1 billion, and that's not saving them. Barbie made $1 billion. Dune 2 made $1 billion. And where's the money with the studio? Their stocks are in the dump. So how are you going to come and say, oh, that we're not putting pressure? We're putting a lot of pressure onto the studio, and they know it. They're just being cornered slowly to the wall until we get them at checkmate, and that's going to come on July 11th. Superman, we know, and they know it, that it's going to be done. But they have a contract with James Gunn. They're not going to be like, hey, you know what? We're going to fire you now because the fans don't want you and this and that. It's going to be worse for them. It's going to be much more expensive because they can't break a contract. You get what I'm saying? So they're going to be like, well, let's see how this plays out. Look at how everything is on pause right now. After Superman, what do they have? Supergirl and Lobo? Those might not even make it to the final thing.
They have garbage.
There you go. And they know that they have garbage. They know that there's nothing else left with this reboot. They did this to themselves. So what happens? In the end, WB is going to do what WB wants to do, whether it's sell it or restore it. And to me, it makes more sense for them to restore it because now they can say, hey, look, let's just speculate. I'm gonna speculate real quick.
Don't
Let's
get me
just say,
wrong. I do think it makes more sense to restore it. I just think that's the wrong strategic move as from the fandom to get that to happen.
right.
But
I
obviously, yeah, I would be happy, and I think it does make more sense for the studio to just restore it. I don't think they will, though. I think we're gonna have to force it, and
but think about this, just so we could like finish on this last thing.
yep.
Let's look at this. Everybody, analyze this. All of a sudden, WB's right now. Superman's released. It did terrible at the box office. It didn't even make its budget back. That's how bad it is, right? Think in the position of a business person. You have two options before you, and I've been saying this for a long time. The studio is going to be forced to do two things, and it all comes down to whether you sell it or you keep it and you do something with it. If I was in the position of the CEO or somebody big in that company, I would be like, you know what? We have no other option. We either sell it, which we don't want to sell, or we could go ahead and maximize everything. We already have Zack Snyder here. We have our own streaming platform, HBO Max. Let's do the same thing what we did during COVID. What's that? Let's just give the fans more of Zack Snyder since he's already here. Let's call in David Ayer. Let's release his cut. What it's going to cost us, a couple of $1,000, $100,000, who knows? They're at the point where they're like, you know what? If you sell it, you're going to be like Marvel back in the 90s. You're going to lose all your IPs. But if you keep it in house and now you max the shit out of HBO Max, what can you do? You could bring in DC fandom and announce, boom, Zack Snyder's back. We're releasing the air cut. Along with that, we have Ben Affleck's Batman. We're going to do Wonder Woman 3. Patty Jenkins is back. They're restoring. They're going back just like the Flash did in Zack Snyder's Justice League when he went back and fixed the timeline of Justice League and repaired it after Darkseid took over and started repairing and restoring that timeline, bringing us to where we left off with the epilogue, setting up something new that none of us know what's going to take place in Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 and 3. And that can all go straight to streaming on HBO Max's platform. Now you have subscribers coming. Now you have fans coming. Now you have the demand. The stocks are going to go up because now it's building momentum again. Oh, okay. It's picking up where it left off. All right, cool. But what about this? Erase all of that. The same way like Justice League was erased, the same thing can happen once it all gets restored. They don't have to sell it. They could keep it in house, make
I'm not.
profit.
Hey, I'm not saying they have to sell it.
No, I'm no, but I'm saying
Just
it's just like
okay.
just saying, and like they don't have to sell it to nobody. They keep it, and WB can become WB who they were once. And it's like, are they going to do that? We don't know. Nobody knows. So it's like, can after Superman they continue? Of course they can. They have all these characters. They own the IPs of all these characters. It's not like Marvel. They can't say, "Hey, look, we're gonna do a Hulk movie," but we can't because Universal owns the rights to the Hulk. Oh, what about this Spider-Man? We can't because Sony owns the movie rights to that. So it's like they're stuck in a complicated situation. That's why Marvel did what they did by buying out Fox because they wanted the X-Men. And look at where they're at now. They own Fox, and on top of that, now it's opening the next door that they've been wanting to do for a while, which is bringing the X-Men. The same thing with this. If they do this and they fully don't go through with Superman, they only have those two options. They're going to be forced to either sell to whoever it's going to be or two, restore. That's it. You only have those two options. I know if I was in that situation and these IPs were my baby, I would not want to sell. I'm going to be like, I'm going to try to save it and do whatever I can while I still can with whatever little bit of money I can and just make the best of it. And we already know that with Zack Snyder, it's going to sell regardless because in the sense of it's going to like sell to the audience. That's what I'm trying to say.
Make money.
Make money. It's going to make money.
Right.
They're going to start making profits. And once they start seeing that, instantly, it's a win for them. It's a win for the studio. It's a win for Zack, and it's a win for us, the fans.
I agree. I think that's all. I mean, respectfully, I think that's all pretty obvious. I think my issue is I don't think the studio. I think the studio knows all this. So again, we're back to there's clearly an agenda. So how do we get around the like? I think I guess what I was getting at is if Superman flops, I think it's a mistake for Snyderverse fans, whether restore or sell, to think that they're just going to suddenly come to their senses and they'll forget their agenda, because there is an anti-Zack agenda for whatever reason, and restore / sell whatever. So point being, I think the fans, whatever you want to support, I think you have to continue to be loud. To you, I would say, please continue doing what you're doing. You're doing an excellent job, but we have to be loud. We can't be sitting on our thumbs or anything, just hoping that Superman flopping will get the job done, because it's not. I don't think it's going to. Because frankly, when ZSJL came out, any competent studio would have said, "Oh wow, we really screwed up. Let's greenlight Justice League 2," and they didn't. So Superman flopping, it's the same kind of logic. Oh, the obvious thing to do is to go back to Zack. But I'm not convinced they're going to do the obvious thing.
Yeah. Like, that's good. Like, I see both of us have the same goal. We want the Snyderverse to continue. Whatever shape, form. That's fine.
No doubt.
And it's cool to disagree. I say that all the time on this channel. It's okay. We're all entitled to our opinions. You're with the cell and all that stuff, and I see that point of view also. But that's where I step back and I'm like, you know what? I don't see that like a realistic business strategy to go forward. Just because I'm more of, well, we proved the studio wrong, we could do it again, because I see that there's much more.
Right, but that applies to both. I don't really see why but that applies to sell, restore. It doesn't make a difference. It's the same. You're still fighting the same narrative. It's just, how are you going to fight it, with what hashtag?
Yeah.
So I don't really know why you attribute that just to. It seems like you're, respectfully, it seems like you're a little more hung up on the wording. Like it, if it goes to Netflix, it's going to be restored anyway. Do you know what I'm saying? And so, I mean, it's all right. I think I made my point earlier. I think Restore kind of dropped the ball, and we needed new leadership. And I thought, it was
but that's the thing. We never needed leadership when we were united for release the Snyder Cut.
Well, all right. Well, so let me go back real quick.
So it's like that. We never needed leadership. We were all doing our thing on our own, and we got it. Now it's just become. This is just me just speaking from what I'm seeing.
Yeah,
this has all just become like another hashtag war, where it's like there. It's like, well, my hashtag is more popular than yours. Well, mine's gonna evolve from yours, because that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing it with Cell. I'm seeing it with Cell. With Cell has evolved into like 2 or 3 hashtags. So I'm so confused. I scratch my head. I'm like, which one of the 3?
It didn't evolve. Somebody else just put Cell whatever. I mean,
okay.
Yeah. I mean, I take what you're
saying. That's what I'm saying. It evolved from its own thing. Restore Snyderverse remains Restore Snyderverse. Like, I don't see anything else attached to it. I don't see Restore Snyderverse at WB or at Netflix, or you get what I'm saying? It's just Restore Snyderverse.
Well, here, let me push back real quick. Let me push back for a minute. Now, do you not see an issue with the conflicting messages, the mixed messages with the Black Adam boycott and all that, and the Flash boycott?
Yes and no. Black Adam, remember Black Adam? It was still part of the Hamadaverse, and that's when things were branching away from what Zack had originally. And I thank The Rock for doing what he could with Henry Cavill, but it was too late. That was just the studio trying to throw in the line and say, hey, we're going to bait all of you Snyder fans just so we can make money at the box office. And they're trying to do the same thing for Superman right now. Because now James Gunn's like, oh, here's a picture with me and Zack Snyder, my friend. Really? That's your friend? If he's your friend, why are you trying to erase everything that he's done and he's already established? That's not your friend. I don't see that as a friend.
Now, let me ask you, were you pro boycott Black Adam?
It was a mixed one. I only wanted to see it because I was like, it fits into the tone within the Snyderverse. Did I see it? Yeah, I saw it. And when I saw it, I was like, clearly you could see that there was a lot of people behind it trying to say, hey, we still want it to stay with the tone with Zack Snyder. Because if you look at it, it's very controversial. Black Adam is very controversial to me. It has the tone of the Snyderverse. It's dark. It's very brute type. For a PG-13, that movie was originally going to be a rated R. I'm not sure if you know that, but they changed it. Of course, WB, let's make it a little bit more happy. Let's make it happy and with jokes. It's typical WB.
Let's screw it up.
Yeah, let's just do that. Throw a wrench in there, monkey wrench. Speaking
Yeah,
about monkeys, you know. So
yeah.
it's like when you look at Black Adam, watch it, but take away the jokes, take away all the silliness, and just focus on the seriousness of it. To me, this is just me speaking. I connect that still part of the Snyderverse, even though it's a Walter Hamada production. You know why? Because clearly you could see that they were trying to keep the fans as happy as possible, but they wanted to get away from it. And you can see like it's like management. Oh, everybody wants to give their ideas. Hey, we should do this, we should do that. You can see it in the movie. Oh, let's throw in more jokes. Oh, let's throw this more. Let's throw yo, like you can see that aspect. But if you take away the jokes, I like Black Adam for what it is and what it was setting up. Because now you have Superman appearing at the end. They rushed it. They just threw him in there last minute, but I'm sure it's because of money. The studio probably didn't want to sign the check and say, "Oh, we don't want to pay that extra money. We're going to give him this much." All right, whatever, just give it. And he did it. That's why he did the cameo for 5 seconds. But it still was setting up something that was going to connect to a bigger picture. Because now we have Black Adam. He's about to face off because Superman was like, "We need to talk." So it's building up to something. And then now we have Shazam in the background. And the plan was for all three of them to eventually go at it. But of course, that's when this whole transition with James Gunn, the Flash, they even moved up the Flash, and James Gunn gave notes to Andy Muschietti, and he was like, "Hey, put this." And I know for a fact, I can't prove it, but I know for a fact James Gunn must have told Andy Muschietti, "Hey, look, let's remove everything that has to do with Zack Snyder, even though that's
Oh
my
yeah.
quote unquote friend,
Yep.
and we're gonna move forward with what I want to do." And that's what happened. And look at what the mess they're in. And unfortunately, that's where it's all at. But like it, it's hard to say. It's crazy. It's like what
So
could have been, what
were
could
you
have been.
were you pro boycotting the Flash?
Yeah, hell yeah. I was like, that's not the Flash movie I want. I was like, I'm against it, and I'm still against the Flush. That's why I call it the Flush because it's not a proper Flash movie. Everything was screwed up on that movie. Everything, and everything got even worse once James Gunn came on board. Because remember, when they had showed, there was two versions of the Flash. One of them shows Ben Affleck at the end, and he's talking to Barry, saying, "Hey, we're stuck in this timeline. Look for us."
Yep.
There's
And
another one.
Keaton at
Then
the end
there's a
too.
yeah, and it's supposed to leave it like if another director comes in and they want to continue, or if Zach wants to come back and continue, it would have picked up from there. And then the other ending was that it was supposed to have the Justice League in it, setting up something where that's where it kind of fades away. Because from what I remember hearing and seeing during that time, they were quick to take those pictures down. I remember seeing Henry Cavill on set. We already see Gal Gadot's there as Wonder Woman. We see Ben Affleck. So, and they were supposed to bring in Ray Fisher, but WB didn't apologize to him. So he dropped down and he's like, "I'm not coming for that movie. They have to apologize to me." We could have had him. That's why you don't see him and Ben Affleck's silhouette in Peacemaker. When you see them, when Peacemaker's talking to them, and that silhouette scene at the end with the Justice League. And I'm like, once I saw that scene, I knew James Gunn didn't give two shits about any of us, especially the Snyder cut. I mean the Snyderverse. He was like, he's pissing all over everyone by doing that. And that's what he did. And this is where we are right now. You know, he picked and chose who gets to move forward in his DCU instead of just rebooting the whole damn thing. Just he should have just wiped everything away and just started from scratch with everything and everyone. No, instead he gets to keep Viola Davis. He keeps John Cena. He keeps some people from Suicide Squad, and he takes out the ones from David Ayer like Captain Boomerang. Oh, he gets to keep Harley Quinn, but what the hell? It's like okay, but if you look at it, Zach has a bigger picture. We just don't know it. We don't know what Justice League 2 and 3 have. None of us do. And I'm okay with that because now Marvel doesn't know the ideas. So the day that Zach returns, and I know he's going to be back soon, we're all going to find out. And by then, Marvel's probably going to be deep in with Secret Wars, so they won't be able to copy and rip off the ideas of Zack Snyder. That's why I don't trust the Russo brothers during that interview when they were trying to tell Zack, "Hey,
Yep.
how would you go about, doing the next film?" I would have been like, "You trying to steal my ideas? I ain't giving you no ideas." And
Yeah.
that's exactly, like that's what they're doing. Like, it's like
Get the
I
fuck
see
out of
you.
here.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you gonna try to do you trying to bribe me with a slice of pizza? This ain't even stuffed crust pizza. It's like, damn, do it right. But the point is, it's like they were trying to get information from Zack, and I like how Zack responded to that. Watch that interview, and he completely dodges the question, and he's like, don't compromise. And then he's like, just shoot all your ammo, everything out there. And that's what Zack did. Zack set up something that majority of us want. I want to know what the hell happens when Darkseid takes over. I want to know, how did Harley Quinn die when Batman was like, "Oh, I was holding her in my arms and she died saying to take out the Joker." Like, I want to know all these things. It's like I want to see that tank that he's riding. And it's like, yo, all this is just, you just can't leave it up in the air. You just can't. So you're gonna do a reboot? We have only one dark side. Where is he during everything? Like, this motherfucker never existed? Like, you're just gonna sweep that under the rug? Like, you see what I'm saying? It's like, it's just so many things that just go unanswered. It's wild, man.
Yeah, yeah, I hear you. I hear you. I'm with you.
It's crazy. But regardless, we have to keep on fighting for whichever side. The point is that we just want Zack back. We want the Snyderverse to continue, and we want to see a proper ending to what he was going to give us. That's all. That's all we're asking for. I don't know
We
what's
will
so
see it.
hard,
We're gonna see
but
it. We're gonna get Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 is gonna happen. It's inevitable.
exactly, it's going to happen. I like that. It's going to happen. And, with that being said, I mean, this was an awesome chat, honestly.
Cool.
It was good, talking about that, seeing how everybody feels about it, and this is what we're doing. You don't have many channels doing that. You don't have many people talking about it, and we have to say it how it is. That's the only way.
I
That's
agree.
why I'm like, there's no solution with James Gunn. James Gunn hasn't brought anything to the table where I can say, you know what, I'm looking forward to that. I'm just
No,
not.
everybody's talking about DCU. I don't even think there's going to be a universe. I think it's just going to be it's going to be one big flop on their first movie, their first movie, and it's going to be done. I mean, uh, you guys all see it everywhere. It's DOA.
Yeah,
Everybody knows.
completely. And every time that something new comes up, it's even more stupid than last time. So now we have monkeys in the movie, and that's confirmed. You know what? Honestly, I'm glad. I am glad that they're putting monkeys in this movie. I'm glad that they're doing all this shit show. You know why? Because they're gonna tank on their own faster. We're just here, like Joker said. We're just like gravity. All you need is a little push. That's us. We're giving that push.
Yeah,
This whole thing with James Gunn is going to end so bad. And come
agreed.
July, we are going to find out. And I can't wait for the blame game. Oh, it was your fault. No, it was your fault. Oh, it's the and apparently there's drama right now happening with James Gunn versus WB.
Well, you know who they're
So
going to blame? They're going to blame us Snyder fans. Supposedly, there's only 10 of us, but we also are going to be responsible for the movie tanking.
exactly. Thank you. That shows you we are the majority. Every time that these James Gunn fans come out and say, "Oh, you're the minority," but then they go on social media and say, "Oh, it's because of you, Snyder fans. This movie is going to tank." Thank you. I'm glad you can acknowledge that we are the majority.
No, it's not even close. I mean, it's a total lie that general audiences rejected Snyder. General audience. I mean, it blows my mind sometimes. General audiences don't care if Batman kills, like stuff
Yeah.
like that. And it's cool if anybody's got a no kill rule or not. That's all fine. They don't care. They don't care that Jesse Eisenberg was Lex Luthor. It's the superhero nerds that care, and that's
Right.
fine if you care. But Grandmom doesn't care that Batman killed somebody. She
Yeah.
doesn't care. General audiences do not care about this stuff. It's the biggest load of crap I've ever heard.
Completely. But with that being said, I want to thank you for coming on the show. I want to thank everybody for watching. it was a very entertaining show tonight, if you want to say. And like I said, we will stop at nothing. That's the goal, and I can't wait as we get closer. What tomorrow's May, June, July. We are hitting the time crunch line, and
Still no
WB
trailer, no real
is still no
trailer.
trailer. Still no trailer.
What the hell?
Honestly, I really don't get it. Honestly, it's like, oh, this is going to be interesting as we get into it more. And they're gonna keep on coming up with lies. They're gonna keep on. WB is going to be exaggerating. The shill YouTubers that are paid are gonna. Oh, it's the best movie I've seen. That you should go watch it. I totally agree, and I totally recommend it. Watch. They're gonna be like that, like, oh man, here we go. It's like, but we're on to them. They know it, and yeah, that's crazy. But
Well,
yeah,
hey, real quick, I just want to say thank you very much for having me on. This was a lot of fun, and shout out to the chat. I usually when I'm open panels, I don't really look at the chat. So shout out to anybody that may have said hello or anything. How's it going, guys? But thank you very much for having me on. This was a lot of fun. I appreciate it, and keep doing what you're doing, man. You are needed.
appreciate that. Really appreciate that. Every time I hear everybody say that, or just post it, I need that too. I need encouragement myself, man. It's hard to stay self motivated, and but and they know it. They know it. WB's onto us. They hear us. They see us. And again, we have to keep on going at it. Because honestly, that whole thing with the monkeys, honestly, oh, this is going to be fun. I can't wait. Honestly.
Yeah, it's
This
gonna
is
be funny.
going, yeah, this is nuts. That's it's wild. But yeah, so thank y'all for watching. Thank you for coming on the show again. Let's keep doing what we're doing. We will stop at nothing. I'm gonna catch you on the next stream, and until then, stay safe and peace out.